I'm about to show you something that your doctor probably never told you, something that could change your life completely. And when I reveal what actually works to reverse high blood pressure, not just manage it, not just control it, but reverse it, you're going to realize why millions of people are taking medications they might not need forever. I'm Dr. Sandra Whitmore, and after 20 years as a cardiac surgeon, after seeing thousands of patients transform their cardiovascular health, after watching people get off medications they thought they'd take for life, I need to tell you the truth about high blood pressure, the truth that the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know, the truth that most doctors don't have time to explain, the truth that could save you thousands of dollars in medications and, more importantly, could add years to your life. Here's what terrifies me. Right now, over 120 million Americans have high blood pressure, and the vast majority of them believe it's a permanent condition, a life sentence, something they'll manage with pills until the day they die. But that's a lie. High blood pressure in most cases is reversible, completely reversible. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you the exact mechanisms, the proven strategies, the peer-reviewed research, and most importantly, I'm going to give you the step-by-step protocol that actually works. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what causes high blood pressure at the cellular level. You'll understand why the standard medical approach only treats symptoms, and you'll have a complete roadmap for reversing this disease naturally. This isn't theory. This isn't wishful thinking. This is science. Proven, documented, published science that works. But you need to stay with me because what I'm about to share goes against everything you've been told. Let me start by telling you about Richard, because his story is going to show you what's possible when you understand how this disease actually works. Richard was 64 years old when he came to my office. His blood pressure was 168/96, severe hypertension. He'd been on 3 blood pressure medications for 8 years. Amlodipine, lisinopril, hydrochlorothiazide, the standard triple therapy, and his pressure was still barely controlled. Richard was miserable. The medications made him dizzy. He had chronic fatigue. He had erectile dysfunction, which his doctor blamed on aging but was actually from the blood pressure pills. He felt like a shell of the man he used to be. And here's what made Richard's situation even more frustrating. He'd asked his cardiologist if he could ever get off the medications. The answer was no. "You have essential hypertension," his doctor told him. "That means we don't know what causes it, and there's no cure. You'll be on these medications for life." But that wasn't true. Richard's hypertension wasn't essential. It wasn't mysterious. It had clear, identifiable causes. And when we addressed those causes, something extraordinary happened. We put Richard on a comprehensive protocol, every element evidence-based, every intervention proven. Within 3 months, his blood pressure was 128/78. Off 1 medication, within 6 months, 122/74. Off 2 medications, within 1 year, 118/72. Off all medications, completely medication-free. Richard cried in my office. He said, "Dr. Whitmore, I have my life back, my energy, my mental clarity, everything. Why didn't anyone tell me this was possible?" And that's the question. Why doesn't anyone tell you this is possible? The answer is complicated. It involves insurance reimbursement models that pay doctors for prescribing medications, but not for teaching lifestyle interventions. It involves pharmaceutical companies with billions of dollars in blood pressure medication sales every year. And it involves a medical education system that trains doctors to manage disease, not reverse it. But here's what you need to understand, and this is critical. Medications are not the enemy. Medications save lives. If your blood pressure is 180/110, you need medication immediately. But medications should be a bridge, not a destination. They should stabilize you while you address the root causes. Then you taper off as your body heals. That's what almost never happens. Instead, you get the diagnosis, you get the prescription, and that's the end of the conversation. Nobody talks about reversing it. Nobody talks about root causes. You're a customer for life, but not anymore. Not after you finish this video. Let me explain what actually causes high blood pressure, because if you don't understand the mechanism, you can't fix it. Your blood vessels are lined with a single layer of cells called the endothelium. These cells produce a molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is magic. It relaxes your blood vessels. It keeps them dilated. It keeps blood flowing smoothly. It prevents inflammation. It prevents blood clots. When your endothelium is healthy, when it's producing abundant nitric oxide, your blood pressure stays normal. Your vessels are flexible. They expand and contract with every heartbeat. Everything works beautifully. But when your endothelium becomes dysfunctional, when nitric oxide production decreases, your vessels constrict, they stiffen, they can't relax properly, and your blood pressure rises. This is the root cause of most hypertension, endothelial dysfunction. And endothelial dysfunction is caused by specific, identifiable factors. Factors you can modify, factors you can reverse. Let me show you the 6 major causes of endothelial dysfunction and therefore high blood pressure. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix each one. Cause number 1, excess sodium combined with insufficient potassium. Most people know that sodium raises blood pressure, but what they don't know is why. Here's the mechanism. When you consume excess sodium, it accumulates in your bloodstream. Your body tries to dilute it by retaining water. More water in your blood vessels means more pressure, basic physics. But that's not the whole story. Sodium also accumulates inside the walls of your blood vessels, inside the smooth muscle cells. This makes those cells contract. Your vessels constrict. Pressure goes up. And here's the critical part. Potassium counteracts sodium. It helps your body excrete sodium through your kidneys. It helps your blood vessels relax. It protects your endothelium. The problem is that modern diets are catastrophically high in sodium and catastrophically low in potassium. Processed foods are loaded with sodium. Restaurant food is loaded with sodium. And we're not eating enough potassium-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and beans. The solution is not just reducing sodium. It's dramatically increasing potassium. The American Heart Association recommends 3,500 to 5,000 milligrams of potassium daily. Most Americans get less than 2,500. This matters enormously. Studies show that increasing potassium intake to 4,700 milligrams per day can lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 7 points. In some people, even more. That's comparable to the effect of a blood pressure medication. How do you get that much potassium? Food, not supplements. Potassium supplements are limited to 99 milligrams per pill by law because higher doses can be dangerous. But food-based potassium is safe. 1 medium potato, 900 milligrams. 1 cup of cooked spinach, 840 milligrams. 1 medium banana, 420 milligrams. 1 cup of white beans, 1,000 milligrams. 1 avocado, 700 milligrams. 1 cup of tomato sauce, 810 milligrams. You see the pattern. Real food, whole food, not processed garbage. This alone can dramatically lower blood pressure. And sodium restriction. This is non-negotiable. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium daily for people with hypertension. The average American consumes over 3,400. Cutting sodium by 1,000 milligrams per day lowers blood pressure by 5 to 6 points on average. Combined with increasing potassium, you're looking at 10 to 13 points of blood pressure reduction just from mineral balance. That's massive. Cause number 2, excess body weight, particularly abdominal fat. Fat tissue isn't inert. It's metabolically active. It secretes hormones and inflammatory molecules. And abdominal fat, visceral fat around your organs, is particularly problematic. It secretes compounds that cause insulin resistance, inflammation, and endothelial dysfunction, all of which raise blood pressure. Excess weight also increases blood volume. More tissue needs more blood supply. Your heart has to pump harder. Pressure rises. And excess weight increases sympathetic nervous system activity. Your body is in a constant state of stress. Adrenaline is elevated. Blood vessels constrict. The good news is that weight loss is one of the most powerful blood pressure interventions that exists. And you don't need to lose 50 pounds. Even modest weight loss produces dramatic results. Studies show that for every kilogram you lose, about 2.2 pounds, your blood pressure drops by approximately 1 point. Lose 10 pounds, drop 5 points. Lose 20 pounds, drop 10 points. Lose 30 pounds, drop 15 points. Richard, the patient I told you about, lost 28 pounds. That alone accounted for about 14 points of blood pressure reduction. Combined with other interventions, it was enough to get him completely off medications. But here's what's critical. The weight loss has to be sustainable. Crash diets don't work. They produce temporary results, then rebound weight gain. You need a permanent change in eating patterns. More whole foods, more vegetables, more fiber, less processed food, less sugar, less refined carbohydrates. This isn't about calorie counting, it's about food quality. When you eat nutrient-dense, whole foods, your body naturally regulates appetite. You feel satisfied with fewer calories. You lose weight without suffering, and your blood pressure drops. Cause number 3, sedentary lifestyle. Your body was designed to move. When you sit all day, every day, your cardiovascular system deteriorates. Your blood vessels stiffen. Your endothelium becomes dysfunctional. Nitric oxide production declines. But when you exercise regularly, especially aerobic exercise, something extraordinary happens. Your blood vessels produce more nitric oxide. They become more flexible. They vasodilate more effectively. Your sympathetic nervous system activity decreases. Your parasympathetic activity increases. Everything shifts toward health. The research on exercise and blood pressure is overwhelming. A comprehensive meta-analysis of nearly 300 randomized trials found that aerobic exercise reduces systolic blood pressure by an average of 5 to 7 millimeters of mercury. Resistance training reduces it by 3 to 5. Combined training produces even greater effects. And the benefit is dose-dependent. More exercise produces more blood pressure reduction. But even modest amounts help. Walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, can lower blood pressure by 4 to 9 points. Richard had been completely sedentary. He started walking, just walking, 30 minutes every morning. Within 6 weeks, his blood pressure had dropped 7 points from the walking alone. By 8 months, he was walking an hour a day. His resting heart rate had dropped from 82 to 64. His blood pressure continued improving. The mechanism is beautiful. Exercise increases something called shear stress on your blood vessel walls. As blood flows faster during exercise, it creates friction against the endothelium. This friction triggers nitric oxide production. Your vessels relax. They become more elastic. They stay relaxed for hours after exercise. Over time, with consistent exercise, your entire cardiovascular system remodels. Your arteries become more flexible. Your endothelium becomes healthier. Your sympathetic tone decreases. Your blood pressure normalizes. Cause number 4, chronic sleep deprivation and sleep apnea. Sleep is when your cardiovascular system recovers. During deep sleep, your blood pressure drops by 10 to 20%. This is called nocturnal dipping. It's essential for cardiovascular health. When you don't get enough sleep, or when your sleep quality is poor, your blood pressure doesn't dip properly. You remain in a state of sympathetic activation all night. Your vessels never relax. Over time, this causes sustained hypertension. Even worse is obstructive sleep apnea. This is a condition where your airway repeatedly collapses during sleep. You stop breathing dozens or even hundreds of times per night. Each time you stop breathing, your oxygen level drops. Your brain panics. It releases a surge of adrenaline to wake you up enough to breathe again. This adrenaline surge causes your blood vessels to constrict violently. Your blood pressure spikes. This happens over and over, all night, every night. It's cardiovascular torture. Studies show that people with untreated sleep apnea have dramatically higher rates of hypertension, and the hypertension is often resistant to medications. But when sleep apnea is treated with CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure, blood pressure drops by an average of 2 to 3 millimeters of mercury. In severe cases, much more. I've seen patients whose blood pressure was completely uncontrolled on 4 medications. We got them a sleep study. Severe sleep apnea, started CPAP. Within 3 months, blood pressure normalized. We were able to reduce medications. In some cases, eliminate them entirely. If you snore loudly, if your partner says you stop breathing during sleep, if you wake up gasping, if you're tired all day despite sleeping 7 to 8 hours, you need a sleep study. This could be the missing piece. And even without sleep apnea, sleep duration matters. Studies show that people who sleep less than 6 hours per night have significantly higher blood pressure than those who sleep 7 to 8 hours. Make sleep a priority, not optional, essential. Cause number 5, chronic stress and elevated cortisol. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These stress hormones prepare you for fight or flight. They increase your heart rate. They constrict your blood vessels. They raise your blood pressure. This is normal and healthy in short bursts. But when stress becomes chronic, when cortisol is elevated day after day, month after month, it causes sustained hypertension. Your vessels never relax. You're stuck in fight or flight mode permanently, and stress causes other problems that compound hypertension. It disrupts sleep. It increases emotional eating. It reduces exercise motivation. Everything spirals downward. The solution is stress management. And I'm not talking about bubble baths and scented candles. I'm talking about evidence-based interventions that actually lower cortisol and blood pressure. Meditation and deep breathing exercises have been studied extensively. A systematic review found that regular meditation practice reduces blood pressure by an average of 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury. Deep breathing exercises produce similar results. The mechanism is simple. Slow, deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the relaxation response. Heart rate decreases, blood vessels dilate, blood pressure drops. And with regular practice, these changes become sustained. I recommend 10 minutes of deep breathing or meditation every morning. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Breathe out slowly for 6 counts. Repeat for 10 minutes. Do this daily. It works. Cause number 6, nutrient deficiencies, particularly magnesium. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. One of its most important functions is regulating blood vessel tone. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker. It prevents too much calcium from entering smooth muscle cells in your blood vessel walls. This keeps those muscles relaxed. Your vessels stay dilated. When magnesium is deficient, calcium floods into vessel walls. The muscles contract, vessels constrict, blood pressure rises. And magnesium deficiency is incredibly common. Studies estimate that 50% of Americans don't get enough magnesium. Why? Because magnesium is found primarily in whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and dark leafy greens, foods most people don't eat enough of. And modern soil depletion means that even these foods contain less magnesium than they used to. Supplementation helps. Multiple studies show that magnesium supplementation reduces blood pressure. A large meta-analysis found that 300 to 500 milligrams of magnesium daily lowers systolic blood pressure by an average of 2 to 3 millimeters. In people with true deficiency, the effect is even greater. The best forms are magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium malate. These are well absorbed and don't cause digestive upset. Avoid magnesium oxide. It's poorly absorbed and mainly works as a laxative. Richard was taking magnesium. He was also eating more magnesium-rich foods: almonds, spinach, black beans, pumpkin seeds. This, combined with increased potassium, fixed his mineral balance. His vessels relaxed. His pressure dropped. Now, let me tie this all together. Let me show you the complete protocol, the exact steps Richard followed, the exact steps that can work for you. Step 1. Dietary transformation, the DASH diet framework. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It's the most extensively studied diet for blood pressure reduction, and the research is overwhelming. The original DASH trial showed blood pressure reductions of 5.5 millimeters systolic and 3.0 millimeters diastolic in just 2 weeks. In people with hypertension, the reductions were even greater: 11.4 millimeters systolic and 5.5 millimeters diastolic. This is comparable to medication, but it's food, no side effects, just nutrition. What does DASH look like? High in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, nuts, and seeds. Low in sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars. Specifically, 4 to 5 servings of fruits daily, 4 to 5 servings of vegetables daily, 7 to 8 servings of whole grains daily, 2 to 3 servings of low-fat dairy daily, 2 or fewer servings of lean meat, poultry, or fish daily, 4 to 5 servings of nuts, seeds, and legumes per week. And critically, sodium under 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams daily. This isn't a diet you go on and off. This is a way of eating forever. And when you do it, blood pressure drops, weight drops, cholesterol improves, diabetes risk decreases, everything gets better. Step 2. Consistent aerobic exercise, minimum 150 minutes weekly. Walk, swim, cycle, dance, anything that gets your heart rate up moderately. Aim for 30 minutes, 5 days per week, minimum. If you can do more, do more. Every minute counts. Start slow if you're sedentary. Even 10 minutes a day helps. Build gradually. Within a few months, you'll be doing an hour a day and loving it. Your blood pressure will thank you. Step 3. Weight loss if overweight. Target 5 to 10% of body weight. You don't need to be skinny. You need to lose enough weight to restore metabolic health. For most people, that's 5 to 10% of starting weight. If you weigh 200 pounds, that's 10 to 20 pounds. Achievable, sustainable, life-changing. The DASH diet plus exercise will get you there naturally. No calorie counting required. Just eat real food, move your body, the weight will come off. Step 4, stress management, daily meditation or deep breathing. 10 minutes every morning, non-negotiable. This is medicine. It lowers cortisol. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It resets your stress response. Do it daily. Step 5, optimize sleep 7 to 8 hours nightly. Make your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. Go to bed at the same time every night. Avoid screens for 1 hour before bed. If you suspect sleep apnea, get tested. Treat it aggressively. Step 6, targeted supplementation, magnesium and potassium-rich foods. Supplement with 300 to 500 milligrams of magnesium daily. Eat potassium-rich foods to get 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams daily. This combination is powerful. Step 7, monitor and adjust with home blood pressure monitoring. Buy a good home monitor. Check your pressure daily. Same time, same conditions. Keep a log. Share it with your doctor. This data is critical for adjusting medications as your pressure drops. And here's what's important. Work with your doctor. Don't stop medications on your own. As your blood pressure drops, your doctor can gradually reduce medications. This process takes months, but it works. Richard followed this protocol religiously. Within 1 year, he was medication-free. Blood pressure 118/72. He'd lost 28 pounds. His energy was incredible. His mental clarity was sharp. He told me he felt 20 years younger. And Richard isn't unique. I've seen this transformation dozens of times, hundreds of times. People who were told they'd be on medications for life. People who reversed their hypertension completely. You can do this. Your body wants to heal. You just have to give it the right inputs. Real food, regular movement, adequate sleep, stress management, mineral balance. Now, I need to address something critical. This doesn't work for everyone. About 5 to 10% of hypertension is secondary hypertension, caused by kidney disease, hormonal disorders, or other medical conditions. If that's you, lifestyle changes alone won't be enough. You'll need medications and treatment of the underlying condition. But for the other 90 to 95%, for people with essential hypertension, lifestyle interventions can reverse the disease completely. Not just manage it, reverse it. Cause number 5, chronic stress and elevated cortisol. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These stress hormones prepare you for fight or flight. They increase your heart rate, they constrict your blood vessels, they raise your blood pressure. This is normal and healthy in short bursts. But when stress becomes chronic, when cortisol is elevated day after day, month after month, it causes sustained hypertension. Your vessels never relax. You're stuck in fight or flight mode permanently. And stress causes other problems that compound hypertension. It disrupts sleep. It increases emotional eating. It reduces exercise motivation. Everything spirals downward. The solution is stress management. And I'm not talking about bubble baths and scented candles. I'm talking about evidence-based interventions that actually lower cortisol and blood pressure. Meditation and deep breathing exercises have been studied extensively. A systematic review found that regular meditation practice reduces blood pressure by an average of 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury. Deep breathing exercises produce similar results. The mechanism is simple. Slow, deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the relaxation response. Heart rate decreases, blood vessels dilate, blood pressure drops, and with regular practice, these changes become sustained. I recommend 10 minutes of deep breathing or meditation every morning. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Breathe out slowly for 6 counts. Repeat for 10 minutes. Do this daily. It works. Cause number 6, nutrient deficiencies, particularly magnesium. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. One of its most important functions is regulating blood vessel tone. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker. It prevents too much calcium from entering smooth muscle cells in your blood vessel walls. This keeps those muscles relaxed. Your vessels stay dilated. When magnesium is deficient, calcium floods into vessel walls. The muscles contract, vessels constrict, blood pressure rises. And magnesium deficiency is incredibly common. Studies estimate that 50% of Americans don't get enough magnesium. Why? Because magnesium is found primarily in whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and dark leafy greens. foods most people don't eat enough of. And modern soil depletion means that even these foods contain less magnesium than they used to. Supplementation helps. Multiple studies show that magnesium supplementation reduces blood pressure. A large meta-analysis found that 300 to 500 milligrams of magnesium daily lowers systolic blood pressure by an average of 2 to 3 millimeters. In people with true deficiency, the effect is even greater. The best forms are magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium malate. These are well absorbed and don't cause digestive upset. Avoid magnesium oxide. It's poorly absorbed and mainly works as a laxative. Richard was taking magnesium. He was also eating more magnesium-rich foods: almonds, spinach, black beans, pumpkin seeds. This, combined with increased potassium, fixed his mineral balance. His vessels relaxed. His pressure dropped. Now, let me tie this all together. Let me show you the complete protocol, the exact steps Richard followed, the exact steps that can work for you. Before I go, I want to ask you to do 3 things. First, subscribe to this channel. I'm committed to bringing you evidence-based health information that can transform your life. Information that most doctors don't have time to explain. Second, share this video. Think about everyone you know with high blood pressure. Your parents, your siblings, your friends. This information could save their lives. It could save them thousands of dollars in medications. Share it now. And third, leave a comment. Tell me your blood pressure story. Are you on medications? How many? Do you want to get off them? What's holding you back? I read every comment. Your input helps me create content that serves you. Comment, I can reverse this if you're committed to following this protocol. Let me see how many people are ready to take control of their health. Your blood pressure is not a life sentence. It's a message from your body, a message that something needs to change. Listen to that message, act on it, and watch your body heal. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.